Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
And Joy Nightingale.
And today we have landed right here in Hollis, Queens in New York. Now, a while ago we posted a video on the top of Mount Washington, New Hampshire, and I told the tale of when I almost died on top of Mount Washington. Now, in my life there has been 4 times I thought in that moment in time, I thought I was going to die. There might have been other times where I might have died. I had some bad car crash. As a little kid, I almost drowned. But these are times where, in the moment, I had time to comprehend what was happening, and I thought, I am going to die. We are standing right now in the playground of PS 35, an elementary school here in Hollis. And in this elementary school is one of those 4 times I thought I was going to die. So I'm about to tell you this story. We're going to have a little story time with Joe Lunchbox. And figured just a good story. People like that one. Might as well tell you the story. Hopefully you like hearing some fun stories. If you do, you should like this video. We're usually on big adventures, but I just wanted to share this story. Mm-hmm. If you like seeing big adventures, subscribe to our channel, comment down below. All that stuff's so appreciated. But it's time to do it. Step right up. Let's go for this ride. It's funny. I haven't been back to this school in 22 years. I'm looking at that tower, that smokestack goes down into our boiler room. This whole building to my left now was in here. There was 2 little trailers. And I know what you're saying. You're like, Joe, what were you doing in elementary school in 2002 that you almost died? That's pretty crazy. Well, you see, some backstory. At that point in life, I was trying to figure out where I belonged in this world. I was going to college for athletic training. I realized I don't like sports. I had a bad car accident. I dropped out of school for a little bit. And my uncle went, Joe, you want a job? He was a custodian in the city school systems. I never worked for him. You can't do that. But he had friends that were other custodians. And they got me jobs as a cleaner in the city schools. This school here, his friend Gary was the custodian. And they brought me in coming at the end of winter, so it would have been March or April, probably April, I would say, April, May, to come in and clean the boilers. Now, every year after the winter, the boilers have to get a really deep cleaning. And right through there in the basement is the boilers, but this isn't the boiler I clean, but just so you can see. So when you open up the school boiler, there are tons of these little tubes. What we have is sort of like a big wire brush. And I have to shove it down all the tubes, pull it back. Then I come with another wire brush and I do around all the rust. So basically, my job was just clean boilers. I did some cleaning in the school. I cleaned some window wells. But it more or less was the boiler systems. I was working with a guy named Angel. He was the school's fireman at the moment. The day that we are telling you about today was one of the days we were cleaning the boilers. I punched all those holes with my big wire brush. I scraped it, and the next step that comes, this is where it gets fun, is we have a 5-gallon drum of acid. You pour it in the boiler, you fill the boiler with water. The acid eats off all the rust, cleaning the boiler. Now, Angel, he's preparing me for this. I've never done this before. And he's like, Joe, just so you know, the acid is very corrosive. He knew of a cleaner that was recently cleaning boilers, got a little in his eye, went blind. On the 5-gallon bucket, there's actually images showing like a hand and a burn mark out of it and saying, this will burn you. Now, we have to get it from the ground. There is a vertical ladder. You figure that boiler's a round tube. Angel is now on top of the boiler where he's going to dump it in. And my job is to climb up the ladder holding a 5-gallon bucket full of corrosive acid. It did have a lid on. And hand it off to Angel, who then would pour it in. Sounds easy. Well, the problem I had was I have the bucket. I go to climb the ladder. On the second stair when I'm stepping up to the third, my foot slips. I fall backwards off said ladder. It's almost like, I don't know if any of you had near-death moments, things sort of, time slows down. as I'm falling back onto a cement floor, which is already painful and dangerous as it is, I watch the bucket of acid fall next to me, and the pressure of the impact makes it explode. And it covers me from head to toe in acid. And I'm panicking, and I feel right now, my body feels like it is on fire. I figure I am going to die. I'm never going to see that beautiful woman ever again. This is a very bad situation, and I mean, I'm covered. The thing I got lucky was Angel was amazing. Gary was amazing. They both handled the situation better than I ever could imagine anyone handling it. If it wasn't for them, I really don't feel I would be alive. I obviously couldn't see at the moment. My eyes were full of acid. My mouth was full of acid. Like I said, I was covered head to toe in this stuff. Angel didn't climb down the ladder from the boiler. He jumps down. He grabs me by the shoulder and he goes, "Start spitting." And which is smart, because when you're panicking, you're not thinking of everything. I had a mouthful of stuff. If I messed up and gasped in, I would have swallowed this stuff. And I would have died. So I start spitting out the acid. Spitting out the acid. And Angel then rushes me over. They have a eye wash station. And he's spraying water in my mouth. And he's flushing my eyes with the eye wash station. And I just hear stuff happening quick. Back then, we didn't really all have cell phones. 2002, and he's on the walkie-talkie, calls Gary, tell him of the accident. He's just flushing my eyes. I hear Gary then run down. I can't see really yet. My vision hasn't come back yet. I'm in the eye wash station, and I just feel like hands guiding me. Next step is we're heading to a shower, because we have a shower for the cleaners there. We take off my boots. I was wearing Red Wing steel tip boots, and fully dressed, throw me in the shower. By now, my shirt has burnt from the acid. It melted through the shirt and melted through my pants. I didn't have clothing at this moment in time. The leather of my boots actually melted through, and you saw the steel. But I'm just in the shower cleaning off. By now, I realize I'm going to be okay. I realize how scary it was. It is funny that beforehand, he literally tells me a story of a guy going blind. And here, it's all in my eyes and my mouth, over me head to toe. It did burn me. I would say the burns were equivalent to if you ever get a really bad sunburn and it doesn't just burn and it starts to blister. I would say I had a second-degree burn over most of my body. Nothing that like popped really and leaked everywhere. It didn't eat through the layer of skin. If they didn't work fast, who knows what would have happened. And the funny thing is, I was okay after it. And Gary's like, "Oh, you want to go home?" I'm like, I need to make money. I need to get a car. Could I work still? And he laughed at me. He said, "Yeah, if you want to work, you can still work." And we didn't have clothing for me. And I was smaller than I am now. I probably was about, I would say like 210, 220 pounds. And he gets me pants that were way bigger. I think they were size like 50 waist, a piece of rope as a belt, and a medium button-up flannel that definitely didn't fit me well. And I spent the rest of the day wearing this clothing. I remember coming home on the bus and telling my mom what happened and Joy what happened. And they're like, "What?" And they were like, "Why didn't you come home?" I'm like, "Well, because I'm fine now." And they're like, "You're covered in these blisters." I'm like, "They're not going anywhere. I'm going to have to go to work tomorrow." And the next day, like, I got blisters. That was it. I still was able to use the boots. They were worse for wear then. Clothing gone. I obviously healed. No scars from said incident. That is the story of when Joe Lunchbox almost died in the boiler room at PS 35. I am forever grateful for Angel and Gary on that day. And am so happy 22 years later, I don't have to pour acid into school boilers anymore. That is hard work, and I respect the hell out of anyone that has to do that stuff for a living. Joy, you hanging out there?
It was so nice and sunny in this area right here. Oh.
Does it feel nice and hot? Not as hot as being covered in acid.
No.
I think we could close this video if you want to get over here.
Cute bunches. I like what they did.
So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this little tale of when Joe Lunchbox almost died
Number 2 time.
Second time. There's been 4. It's just problem is one of the times was in St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, and
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get there anytime soon to tell you that story.
No.
And the other is upstate, but it's on top of a mountain, and I'm a little out of shape, so I don't know if I could hike to that one. But one day we're gonna get there, and I'll tell you the other 2 times I thought I was gonna die. Hopefully we don't add more times to that list, because
No.
I don't want to almost die. It does make you feel alive and appreciate life, but I appreciate life now. I don't need those incidents to make me appreciate life. But yeah, if you ever had those are scary moments. You really think about everything you have, and that other times, like I have more time to think. This I thought I was gonna die, but I was in such a panic, and Angel acted so fast. The situation was bad, but it could have been so much worse. But I think we could call it
I think so.
the time Joe Lunchbox almost died at PS 35. Been there, done that, not gonna do it again. And remember folks, safe travels
Good eats.
and live life.